Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and today I am going to be talking to you guys about Dungeons and Dragons 3.5. And more specifically, I will be talking to you about the Fighter. Now, the Fighter is, for me, one of the best classes in the game. I like him. I know a lot of people don't. I kind of understand their arguments, but I don't agree with them. Yeah, they don't get a lot of skill points, and they don't have magic. All they do is swing their swords or weapons or whatever it is they have. They're kind of normal. But they're way more customizable than other classes. Yeah, they don't have the skills, but they have feats. Lots and lots of feats. And those can be used to do all sorts of different things and make them so much cooler. I mean, the special abilities of those classes, like evasion and stuff, that like rogues and stuff get. Yeah, that's cool, but that essentially it works a lot like a feat. Class abilities and feats are very much similar. In fact, some class abilities are feats. So, yeah, like half of the Rangers class abilities are just fighter bonus feats, or at least feats that can be fighter bonus feats. Any feat can be taken for a character when they reach a third, sixth, or ninth, any multiple of 3 level. But anyways, fighters great classes. I like them because they have greater access to gear, which is nice. I mean, they can use pretty much anything other than exotic weapons, which no one can use. So, yeah, they have the just pretty much the whole weapons and armor pages are open to you as a fighter, unlike other classes where you're restricted. There's really no other class like other than I think the paladin has access to just as much, except for tower shield. Because yeah, the ranger I don't think is good with medium or heavy armor. Uh, the barbarian isn't good with those either. I don't think he's good with shields either. Uh, I'm not sure about the ranger either, to be honest. Um, and yeah, a lot of them are great with martial weapons. There's several classes that are good with that, like all the ones I just mentioned, but really not that many are good with armor and shields. And yeah, I know the cleric's also good with armor and shields other than the tower shield, but he doesn't have martial weapons, so that kind of sucks. He has like a couple I think that are listed, but not many. But yeah, fighter. I love the class. It's it's just a nice class. Um, so customizable, and honestly, one of my favorite things to do is multi-class. And multi-classing with a fighter is great. To add the combat expertise of a fighter with a wizard, there's ways to do it. There are a lot. You have to take advantage of a few tricks to pull that one off, but there's definitely ways to make it work really nicely. Um, yeah, there's all sorts of cool things you can do. I have a ton of them that I have in my head, like the fighter barbarian. I know they're both pretty similar already, but the fighter is all about finesse. The barbarian is all about brute force. It's kind of cool to mix the two, and since they both have good attack bonuses, you really don't lose a whole lot doing it. Yeah, you just sort of a trade-off finesse and force, which is not so bad. Plus, you get all the fighter stuff and you lose illiteracy, which is pretty cool. Um, yeah, so you can use heavy armor. Well, kind of. And then that one's a little bit restrictive. But anyways, I just like him. One of my favorite characters of all time was a fighter. He was half fighter, half druid. Great character. Little mix of spell casting, and since it was divine, it wasn't as hard to do. Just a straight every other level. I just took a different one. All my odd levels I took fighter. All my even levels I took druid. Pretty simple, straightforward. He was able to heal himself, which was kind of cool, and he was almost as good in combat as a pure fighter would be, which is pretty good. Um, yeah, and with all the bonuses he got from making his own gear as a druid, he was able to make his strength high enough to compensate for the rest of it, which is pretty good. Um, but yeah, it's it's just a good class. I really like it. Um, I mean, it's got a D10 hit dice, so more health than most classes, except for the barbarian. Although the barbarians really have zero defense. They pretty much get killed by everything, other than their damage reduction, which does help a bit, but they take all the hits. They just shrug off a small portion of the damage. So that only helps a little bit. And people say, oh, yeah, the fighters, because they say they don't have a lot of defenses, which, yeah, they have a weak reflex sometimes. Except for a lot of the times they have high dexterity, especially if they're going to be a dual wielder. And will's almost always terrible because wisdom really doesn't help for anything else for the fight. Well, actually, it does help a little bit. A fighter really should have a decent wisdom score because in order to take a lot of the fighter feats, they need like at least a 15 wisdom, something like that, or a 13, something like that. I know it's an odd number. The feats all have odd number requirements to give a purpose for odd numbers for abilities. That's really the only reason for odd numbered abilities other than strength and carrying capacity. But yeah, it's pretty simple. I like the fighter. Good class. They're the party leader. You know, they're awesome. I like them. They're just strong and cool. They're just, yeah. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like them. I love them. They're not the only class I love. I'm going to talk about them in some other videos. But let me know what you think of the video. If you liked it, put a like. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. Subscribe to the channel. I would love that. That way you can learn about all the other videos I'm going to be putting out. They're not all going to be D&D, but they're all going to be geek related. So yeah, I'm assuming that most people watching this are going to be at least kind of geeky in a couple of different areas. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. My name's Mitch, and I will be seeing you hopefully. Take care.